We've all peeled back that little plastic wrapper, pulled out a perfectly smooth yellow square, and thrown it on a burger or melted it into the ultimate grilled cheese. Kraft Singles are everywhere. They're nostalgic, they're convenient, and they melt like nothing else. But the question a lot of people don't ever really ask out loud, are Kraft Singles actually cheese, or are we eating a cheese-shaped illusion? Today, we're digging into the truth behind one of the most iconic American food products ever made. And trust us, the answer is way more interesting than you might think. And yes, the twist at the end is worth sticking around for, because the most surprising fact is the one Kraft really doesn't want you to think about. To figure this out, we first need to understand what real cheese actually is. Traditional cheese, whether it's cheddar, mozzarella, Swiss, whatever, follows a simple process that's been around for thousands of years. Milk, cultures, enzymes, time. That's it. You heat the milk, add cultures, it curdles, you separate the curds, press them, and age them. Cheese, in its purest form, is straightforward, and every ingredient has a natural role. Now, enter Kraft Singles. They start with cheese, yes, emphasis on start. But then things take a turn. Kraft adds dairy byproducts like whey, milk protein concentrate, emulsifiers to keep everything smooth, and stabilizers to help it melt perfectly and last longer. And look, we can all admit, the melt is magical. You throw one on a burger and it doesn't separate, it doesn't get greasy, it doesn't break the way real cheese sometimes does. It melts like a dream because it was engineered to. That flawless melt is a scientific achievement, but it's also the reason Kraft Singles don't legally qualify as cheese. That's right. Legally, Kraft Singles cannot be labeled as cheese in the United States. The Food and Drug Administration actually has very clear rules about what can be marketed as cheese, and Kraft Singles don't make the cut. That's why if you look closely at the packaging, Kraft doesn't call them cheese slices. They call them pasteurized prepared cheese product. It sounds official, kind of like something a lawyer spent hours crafting because they did. The phrase isn't there for fun. It's required by law because the product contains more than just cheese. And here's where it gets interesting. For a period of time, the label even changed to pasteurized prepared cheese food, which still didn't satisfy the regulatory requirements and eventually became cheese product. So, technically, Kraft Singles are not considered cheese by legal definition. Now, before everyone freaks out, this doesn't automatically make them bad or fake or dangerous. Kraft wasn't trying to trick anyone. They were trying to create something new, a cheese-like product that melts perfectly, lasts longer, and is consistent every time. Real cheese can separate, clump, or melt unevenly. Kraft Singles were designed for convenience and reliability, especially for school lunches, diners, fast food chains, and family homes. And if we're all honest, Kraft Singles plus hot bread plus butter might be the fastest way to teleport back to childhood. That's the thing. This isn't a hit piece. This is food science. It just turns out the truth is more complicated than most people realize. And here's the part most people really don't know. The reason Kraft had to develop this product in the first place. In the early 20th century, cheese spoiled quickly and quality was inconsistent. Kraft patented a method to blend cheese scraps with emulsifiers and heat them so they wouldn't go bad as easily. Yup, Kraft Singles were originally born from cheese scraps, leftovers, reworked into something smoother, meltier, and longer lasting. It wasn't deception, it was innovation during a time when food needed to last. This invention actually helped feed soldiers during World War II and later became a household staple. So, in a strange way, Kraft Singles are both less traditional than cheese and also a historic American survival food. So, where does that leave us? Are Kraft Singles cheese? The real answer is, they're cheese-based. They come from cheese, but they're not legally allowed to be called cheese due to added ingredients. They're processed, engineered dairy squares designed to melt beautifully, taste consistent, and stay fresh longer. Not artisanal, not aged, not something you'd grate over pasta in Italy, but absolutely something you throw on a burger at a summer cookout without thinking twice. And here's the twist we teased earlier, the thing that surprises almost everyone. Kraft Singles only need to contain 51% cheese to qualify as a cheese product. The rest? That's where the emulsifiers, stabilizers, and dairy proteins come in. So, yep, you've probably eaten a whole lot of sandwiches where half the slice wasn't technically cheese at all, and yet somehow it still tastes like American nostalgia. So, now the big question. Does knowing this make you love Kraft Singles less, or does it make you appreciate food science a little more? Because, sure, it's not traditional cheese, but it's also a part of American food culture, and honestly, nothing melts like it. If you want real cheddar on your next sandwich, go for it. But if you want the perfect childhood grilled cheese, Kraft Singles still kind of win. Let us know in the comments. Do you still consider Kraft Singles cheese? Or are they something else entirely? And while you're here, stick with us for more food deep dives, mysteries, and flavor investigations. This is KamikazeFood, and we love pulling apart the foods everyone thinks they understand. Hit follow so you don't miss the next one. We've got some wild food secrets coming that you won't believe.